All right. Oh yeah. Yes, it's Tuesday morning. Um, I've changed some of my encoding settings, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep them. Mainly, I've jumped up from 720 to 1080p. Uh, Upload looks kind of shaky. Um, well, let's just. But I don't have any drop frames yet, technically. Let's try to find something that's moving and actual animation and see if I can. It looks okay. Alright, I'm gonna assume this is good until someone tells me it isn't. I think this is really like the edge of what my internet can handle. Like it's not a encode like a processor issue. If encoding Factorio is not difficult for my computer. Um, it's purely just Comcast's upload constraints. Well, I mostly wanted to increase the resolution so that, like, when I'm looking at things like this, the numbers are a little bit easier to resolve in the stream and on the VOD and things like that. Just because it seemed kind of iffy before, and let's just see how this goes. Anyway, to the actual game. Um, we want to be able to automate production of utility science packs. That means being able to produce two things we are currently not producing. We already are making flying robot frames. We need to be able to make processing units and load entity structure. The other thing I would like to start doing today is producing nuclear reactor parts. And actually, I think I might start just making steam turbines because I'm going to need a lot of them. Now let's go over here and see if there's an easy way to cheat on making steam turbines. 20 pipes, holy shit. Um, I don't want to have to like use all the feeds to like do this the usual way. Uh, I might do commit a minor sin here. Okay, this is fine. Yeah. All right. Here's the plan. Yeah. Uh, I can do this. Okay. This is hilarious and gross. All right. Um, one moment. Okay. This is, okay, so I'm gonna have this thing start making steam turbines, throw them over here. I need like 200, I need a lot. Let's just make like 250. It'll be a long time before we actually get to that point. I want this thing making pipes. This thing will also make pipes. And oops, that's not what I wanted. And we can also extend, if we just extend the power a little bit, we can do it like this. Oops. What am I missing? Oh, copper. Okay. Oh, 50 copper plates. Holy buckets. How do I feel about that? Do I want to? Yeah, this is fine. Okay. All right, that'll start making turbines, albeit slowly, but that'll be fine. I want to say that apart from things like piped and ground fittings, turbines are the things I'm going to need the most of. Anyway, back to the actual task at hand, which is making like processing units. Yeah. I did a bit of work off stream replacing so this is iron production area and iron and steel. I replaced all the belts coming from iron and steel and gears and circuits and copper and advanced circuits and plastic, in fact. I replaced all that stuff with express belts that were previously fast belts. So, and in the process, you might see these weird steel chests sitting out here that are like, what are they doing there? And these are an artifact of that process. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm going to have processing unit production here. Now, these things take 10 seconds, so using just the usual circuit stream, well, actually, no. Since the solid components of this are just circuit, like an advanced circuit, I could use this circuit stream that I'm currently using for modules, but I'm going to get a little bit fancy with this. I'm going to broadly assume that I'm going to want a lot of processing units, so we are going to use 2 input belts for this. And just bring them down as circuits on the inside and advanced circuits on the outside. Let's go ahead and do this. These things take 10 seconds to build, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with a pretty high production. And also there is the sulfuric acid requirement. I also thought about changing how I arranged uh, liquid inputs to be like this. Let's see how much I hate this. I guess one question is, yeah, okay, that part isn't the problem. I mean, one problem with this is that when it's arranged like this, I can't run through it. I'll have to run around the sides like that. And actually, I'm going to switch this up. Nah, actually, this is fine. Alright, so... And then... the usual inserter business. Because it takes 10 seconds, let's see, actually, do I want stack inserters here? I don't think I need stack inserters. I might regret that at a later time, but I think we're going to be okay for now. Okay. I don't need too many processing units just sitting around, so. There we go. And processing units will really chew up a lot of circuits, so. So whereas previously, like everything else that I was doing was using like some circuits, this will be using a lot of circuits. And now just gotta bring up advanced circuits, which will just go like there. All right. Oh, and then the sulfuric acid. Oops. Okay. And sulfuric acid is being produced there, and the line goes out to there. Okay, so once I can like see the water, then that's about how far it's going to go. Let's just leave it like that. And now just bring this up here. All right, and that should start processing unit production. We'll see how long it takes circuit production to get exhausted. Also, one kind of interesting thing to note is that since research has been essentially offline for quite a while now. Um, you can see that this was the uh, power maximum generation level about 3 hours ago, which was pretty much, so all this stuff falling off is basically a consequence of research stopping. So the question is, how long will it take for power generation to get back up to 108 megawatts? Um, it may or may not even happen today. It probably, I think probably once research starts up again, it probably will. Ah, Mastodon's computer is working. That's good to hear. Okay. We just got our processing unit production line up. I'll probably eventually need to expand this because eventually we are going to need a lot of processing units. But in the meantime, it's time to start producing low density structure, which prior to 0.17, low density structure was only used in spacecraft, but now it's used in research. So, I'm going to make it over here. Which means burning some trees down. Yeah, these trees are definitely showing signs of pollution damage. Okay, so again, our objective today, we have two objectives. Primary objective is to get utility science packs being produced. And then second priority is to start building the parts for a nuclear reactor. I mean, look at this. This would be an impressive stand of trees if they weren't all so dead. Okay. Mastazah, I'll note that I'm running at 1080p instead of 720p. OBS has reported that I haven't dropped any frames yet, but let me know if you notice anything problematic about the video. I'm kind of running at the limit of what my internet connection can handle. So I'm just kind of hopeful that nothing gets too bad. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Okay, well, you're watching at 480, but just like if you notice what seems to be dropped frames or dying stream or something like that, then holler at me. Okay, so low density structure takes 20 seconds to build. Jeez, that's obnoxious, but yeah. Okay, I would say that, okay, so again, apart from our primary and secondary goals, tertiary goal is probably to get speed module 3 production online, because so I haven't talked about how modules work. You can stick them into like assembly machines. So assembly machines have these slots here for you to stick modules in, and other things like furnaces and a lot of buildings that produce stuff of any kind. You can stick modules into to change their behavior. Speed modules make it take more electricity and just work faster. Efficiency modules do nothing but reduce energy consumption, and productivity modules make it so it makes more products, which makes it also use more electricity and work slower and also produce more pollution. So productivity modules are weird. They're only useful if you're handling like scarce components. But so for my own playstyle, by far the thing I use the most is speed modules. And since there are like 3 levels of each module, now that I'm making processing units, I can actually make speed modules 2 and 3. So since I can make 2 and 3, the only one I ever really want to be bothering with is Speed Module 3. So I would like to get production of Speed Module 3 online today, but I don't know if I'll actually have time for that. So we'll see how far we get. All right. Oops. I want to say that low density structure is never used in any recipes that you build with your own person, so I'm not even going to make a chest here that like stores it. I think it just it's only used for like things that you automate. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and start the production line for utility science packs. Which let's just like throw down there. And actually, I forgot to place the lights that I'm supposed to be doing. Actually, I should probably just expand this way further. All right. So, because once I have the utility science pack production on the line, eventually, I keep threatening to build military science packs, but which are actually just military science pack. I haven't done it yet, but if I do it ever, it'll be on the opposite side of this production line. Whoops, I am out of express belts. Okay. Time to go pick up more of those. Maybe while I'm over there, I'll go grab the copper belt. And in fact, let's just do this. Oh, wait. I don't have any express belts, so I won't do that. Alright, I'll just treat this as a generic resupply operation. Yeah, because I'm almost out of underground belts. I'm almost out of lots of stuff, so. I am once again pressed for inventory space. Oh, I can throw away some of these fast transport belts. Okay, that should keep me going for a little while. How am I doing on inserters? I can pick up some more inserters while I'm over here. Well, except I don't have any inventory space. How about that? Yeah, okay. Maybe I should try to prioritize power armor. I really don't want to, but actually, well, I mean, now that I can, yeah, okay. I have all the components for power armor now, so I should just do that. Oh, but that's why I need to make some military science packs, which is because, So once you have power armor, you have to have a power supply for it. It doesn't come with its own, so you need to research personal fusion reactor, which is, I mean, you can also like insert solar panels, but solar power panels are on your, like carrying them around is a weak option, just because like not even in a stylistic sense is like solar panels are just a lot more weak than a fusion reactor. Surprise of surprises. Uh, Yeah, it definitely is not unpowered armor, it's powered armor. Anyway, and so the personal fusion reactor requires the military science packs. So that is a strong incentive to get military science pack production online, which is not difficult, it's just kind of time consuming. Okay, these things are, yeah, this really does not matter how you do this. But let's just do it like this. Yes, Mastazal has these astute observations that solar panels are basically reliant on a fusion reactor that's really far away and loses connection some of the time. That is very accurate. So I want, yeah. Actually, what I should be doing is picking a spot for processing units, and I think it's going to be, I don't even know what this is. This is probably electric engines, maybe? I don't know, but I think processing units will be to the right of, or to the left of that. Yeah, electric engines. Okay. Like here. All right. And the other thing I need to do is pick a spot for. So we need to be able to convey these science packs that I'm building over here all the way down to the science facility, which is over here. Which this is a good time to do this. I think I can probably drop it down. Like, yeah, to the right of the iron. Yes, let's do it like that. And that's the concrete line. So yeah, like here. And ordinarily I leave gaps, but in the underground belts. But in this case, like, I know that this particular belt will only have one input and one output, so I'm okay with making it a little more stupid. And here I can just like approximate, because here's the belts carrying the other science packs. Okay, so I'm not even going to get fancy here. So I will have to like install the inserters here, but that's okay. While I'm over here, I'll go ahead and install the long-handed inserters, which won't be necessary until after we're launching rockets, but let's just get the job done now. So, you may have noticed by now that I'm spending a lot of time with research offline, which part of the reason for that is because I have 20 science labs, which is more than is necessary a lot of the time. Which, like, what that essentially means is that, like, I run out of technologies to research, but and because I have so many science labs, the upside to having a lot of science labs is that when there's a technology that you want researched quickly, you can actually do it, which seems kind of obvious, but that is like how that works. Is that a lot of times in this game there is a technology that you want researched quickly, and so you have a lot of science labs, and so you do that, and then uh, you are doing a bunch of research that you don't need, or you have to like shut down research for a while because you have nothing to research. So there are trade-offs there. Okay, I think this is where I want this. Fingers crossed. Oh, also that, but don't worry about it. There we go. Whoops, that's not pointing the right. Oh. There we go. Okay, so now, once I actually get utility science packs up and running, they'll just go, and I don't have to worry about the rest of it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is copper plates for the uh, low density structure, which needs to come up a little bit further. The other thing we're going to need to do is bring up the I'm multitasking a little too much here. Let's try to focus on one thing at a time. There we go. So this will be copper plates. Because I got started carrying the processing units over to the utility science pack production, but which will happen in due time, just not right now. All right, I'm trying to remember what the other components. I think low density structure also requires steel and plastic. It does require a lot of copper. I kind of feel like the fact that of it requiring a lot of copper is mostly a game balance thing, because not very much late game stuff uses copper plates. Because it's hard to divine exactly what low density structure is intended to be, at least as far as a real world analog. Like maybe it's supposed to be carbon nanofiber, in which case it wouldn't require steel. But I mean, it's like it sort of was originally intended for use as like spaceship parts, so which I don't actually know. I mean, spaceship parts are in real life, I want to say, are like some combination of metal and plastic. So in that sense, this is accurate, but anyway. Okay, so that's that. I think we're also, so steel is right here. So we can take care of this. This, yeah, this will be fine. Uh, okay, I'm gonna need to bring up the plastic line though. Off stream, I also converted the plastic line to be using express belts, since eventually I'm going to need a lot of plastic, primarily for advanced circuit production, but also for just other stuff in general. I'm going to replace this like that. And let's double check that this line isn't going to run into anything. Probably not. Let's double check that we aren't going to run into. Okay, no, we're just going to barely avoid the belt that is carrying the productivity modules. Ah, yeah, ceramics. Yeah, ceramics are definitely important for, yeah, heat shields and things like that. We aren't going to use plastic bars for anything for a little while, so I'm not even going to leave gaps here. Oops. I'll start gaps here, though. Another thing I did offline was we had set up this concrete production facility off on the last stream, I think. But one thing I did do was I took the concrete production and made a pipeline or a belt system carrying it down here to the main like stockpile area, because this is where everything else is being stockpiled, and this is where I'm going to be assembling the nuclear reactor parts. Okay. So if we do this, at some point, if I have lots of extra time, I might start trying to make. I have a dream that may or may not actually come to fruition of like covering the primary factory, like by which I mean this area, in the logistic network, and then telling robots to cover the factory in concrete or refined concrete, because that's something I've never done before, but it seems like it should be. I mean, it definitely is possible, just whether it's like justified by the time consumption. But having robots do lay down the concrete would be a lot better than trying to do it by hand. I think once this hooks up the steel line, then low density structure production will actually start. And then we just need to connect the processing units and robot frames. So let's assume that this is something like this. And then maybe I'll build some power armor. Okay, so I just kind of did this like this, so that processing units will come in. Oh, these are working right. Okay, so production has started, it's just it's really slow, so. And also, like, low density structure doesn't look like anything. Like it looks like, especially on an express belt. This is maximum zoom, and we'll see a part. It just looks like a little brown blob. So, whatever. Don't worry about it. What is this? I have this line, but oh, is this the science? Yeah, I didn't actually. Okay, hold on. Uh, so I connected a transport belt line to the science facility, but I didn't actually connect it to where the science packs are being produced. So let's finish this particular job. Because even if my power armor doesn't have a power supply, it'll still give me the inventory bonus, which is kind of the part I actually care about, at least at the moment. So yeah, so I'm okay with having power armor that doesn't have any power for a little while. It just has better pockets or something. Okay, I think this is correct. Okay. Now I just need to get the robot frame production line hooked up, and then you'll be in business. Which is right over here. So I'm not, since robot frames are not used for a lot of stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and just, I'm gonna update this to using express belts. And actually, while I'm here, I'm guessing robot frames take 20 seconds. Yeah, we're gonna just upgrade that to the faster production facility. Like here. I'll throw in a splitter for as a sop to the possibility that I might have robot frames feeding into robot production at some point, but okay, there it goes. We'll see how long it takes before robot frame production is bottlenecking science pack production. I'm gonna guess it won't take very long. Okay, So one thing we can look at now is that, how long have I been going for? 45 minutes? So when I started the stream, power consumption was at 29 megawatts, and now we're up to 85. So again, the question is, how long will it take before power production, and which is in line with consumption, how long before it exceeds our previous maximum, which again I think was 105 megawatts, 108, yeah, 108 megawatts was the previous maximum. Which now research will start as soon as these utility science packs actually get down to the lab, which we can have a small celebration of that by actually watching the science packs get there. The celebration slash confirmation that I didn't screw anything up, since it's always a little hilarious to think that you've built a complete pipeline that doesn't actually quite get there. And since offline, I replaced a bunch of fast transporter belts with express transporter belts. It's possible that there are gaps in that work that I did somewhere. In which case, we'll probably find some production of something or other will crash at some point, and I'll have to like do some detective work to figure out why. But in the meantime, looks like things are going just fine. Okay. Let's go check in on... Okay. So while we were doing that, steam turbine production is complete, so we can maybe start producing something else. Because heat exchangers basically require similar stuff, but not quite the same stuff. Okay, in which case I'm going to disassemble this. I'm also going to take a short stream break to take care of some other stuff. So I am going to take the stream down, but I'll be back in about 10 minutes or something like that. Hopefully less. So I'm just going to pause Factorio here and stop streaming, and I'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.